Good morning. I'm like half awake, half dead right now. Um, but I'm going to talk about active contention with Commander Adama and Captain Lee and First Lieutenant Kara. They're sitting there finding out the secret about that Kara's had for like the last 2 years from Captain Lee and from Commander Adara. I'm making a video. Thanks. My niece with her SpongeBob addiction. There, we're all waking up right now, and so she's usually going back and forth between her room and to the living room here. That they're coming to grips with the fact that Zach could have been living right now. That if she didn't pass him, he could be alive. She could be married to him. The dad could have his son still alive. The brother could have his brother alive. And Lee is sort of kind of already passed through the fact of what has happened, and sort of kind of has finally come to grips with it. But the dad did not know that she kept this secret from him for the last 2 years. And he finds out. And he's like, get out before I hurt you. And she's very sad about it. And this show, I have actually shockingly enough cried a lot. I think I feel really dumb, but it's like, oh, these are really human emotions. It's not like crying at the end of like a little kids movie or a little drama or a tragedy or something like that. It just feels like day-to-day stuff that in your mind you're like, oh, I sort of kind of been there, kind of thing that you're like, but still, I don't know. It just felt sort of kind of dumb. Like, obviously, everybody knew deep down this kid could not pass these tests, but they still passed him, let him go, helped him, and everything like that. And so it was all, everybody killed him pretty much. Um, but because everybody did not know everybody's part in killing him, they did not, like, they couldn't really come to terms with him dying, because underneath everything, you just felt there was something more to it. And so now that she has to train these students, these other pilots that have not been military trained pilots, they she's like being really hard ass with them, and you're like, dude, chill, take a breather. These people have had experience. Obviously, if you just do what you normally do, you will see the good ones from the bad ones, the ones who do not need to be there. Don't flunk them all. But it's like, also, them being stupid and like they're in high school again really does not help her at all to figure out who's who, kind of thing. I mean, she's naming kids Hot Dog and Giggles or Chuckles or something like that, and like it really feels like I went back to high school. And then because you have um, Kara sitting there going around and being an ass and everything like that, like she has to get straightened out by Commander Adama, which he's already mad at her and everything like that now. He's mad at her about the whole Zach situation. He's telling her, he's like, you gotta get those cadets back in there, or nuggets. You have to get them back in there, and you're gonna train them. And then you're going to figure out with a clear mind who's going to be the right person and who's going to be the bad person to fight for us and protect this fleet. You got to get back in there. And she's like, yes, sir, and everything like that. And so while she's training them, they get attacked by the robots, the clones or syndrome. I don't know. Again, bad at names. That she's got to fight them, and there's like 8 against 1 kind of thing. And Hot Dog, with his dumb behind, he's like, I'm a dropout. I already did some of this training stuff, so I'm gonna go back and help her. And like he does a good job and everything like that, but he got hit. And so now she's gotta cover him and make sure he's okay and doesn't get attacked again and like blow up. So she's fighting like the last one of the robots, and she hits it. But when it's falling down, his wing hits her. So she's falling. They're getting pulled in by the gravity of the planet, and that's pretty much all you see for the ending of the episode is her falling in the planet, trying to get out and everything like that. You don't know what happens, and that goes into the next episode. So, see you next episode. Bye.